Hi, I'm Bryant for your tutoring high school chemistry. Today's topic is organic chemistry, and specifically alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. Organic chemistry is the chemistry of carbon compounds. Basically stuff with a lot of carbon in it that's usually bonded to only hydrogen. If it ever ends in ane, or yne, you can be sure that it's only hydrogen. Where can you find it? Look in the mirror. You're made up mostly of carbon compounds. So let's go into the main types of carbon compounds. Alkanes, which have only single bonds, alkenes, which have at least one double bond, and alkyne, which have at least one triple bond. How do you tell how many bonds? Well, carbon has only 4 bonds. Anything that's unattached to another carbon will be attached to a hydrogen. How do you name an organic compound? You put on a prefix, which depends on the number of carbons in it, and your suffix, ane, or yne, depending on the number of bonds you've got. Single bonds, ane, double bond, ene, triple bond, yne. Okay. Your teacher will usually give you a compound name and ask you to write out the compound, or give you the compound and ask you to write out the name. Here we have pentane. Remember, there are 2 parts. The pent is your prefix. That refers to the number of carbons. Over here, if you check, you go to pent, that means 5 carbons. And indeed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember that any bond unoccupied by another carbon is attached to a hydrogen. So we can just count those out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone's got 4. It all adds up. Second part is the ane. That means all single bonds. It's an alkane. And indeed, not a double bond to be found. Let's complicate this a bit and make it, instead of pentane, pentene. Whenever you go into alkenes and alkynes, you'll need to put on a number. We'll put on 2 for this one. So 2-pentene. This number dictates where you find your double or triple bond. Since it's pentene, 1 double bond, we need to put a double bond somewhere. Well, you start at either end of the molecule and count. You could either go 1, 2, and put your double bond there, or 1, 2, and put it there. We're going to put ours here. Now hold on. Make sure the carbon has 4 bonds. This one here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that case, we have to get rid of a hydrogen. Never get rid of a carbon, because then you would change your prefix. Keep the prefix the same. And this one's also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just get rid of that. And here we have 2-pentene. Why don't we call this 1, 2, 3-pentene, counting from the other direction? Well, that's because you want to keep this number as small as possible. Always start numbering with the carbon closest to your bond. Let's do one more example, this time of an alkyne. So how about 1-pentyne? Okay, let's turn this back into pentane before we transition into pentyne. 1. Well, that's easy enough. 1 or 1. We could put it either side. We'll put it over here. Again, make sure that you've got 4 bonds on everything. This carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bonds. We need to drop 2, so we'll drop off these 2 hydrogens. This carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bonds too. Drop off a few hydrogens. 2 of them. And now we have 1-pentyne. Remember, this is not 1, 2, 3, 4-pentyne, because you want to keep this number as low as possible. To recap, every organic compound is named by a prefix and a suffix. Your prefix is determined by the number of carbons. Just use this table over here, and the second part, your suffix, depends on the types of bonds. If you've only got single bonds, it's an alkane, end in ane. If you've got at least 1 double bond, it's an alkene, ends in ene, and you need to put a number before that to tell you where the double bond is. Alkynes end in yne and have at least 1 triple bond. Again, put a number to show where that bond is. Whenever you draw one of these out, remember that every carbon has only 4 bonds. Anything not attached to a carbon is attached to a hydrogen. Make sure that all that adds up, and you're good. That's all for now. Good night, Bryant. See you next time.